5 to 6 months. So I think starting young is actually important in terms of inculcating good food habits. So I would say, like, if you really want your child not to be distracted by screen time, or watching your iPhone or whatever while eating, then as a parent, I think you kind of don't give those things at the time of eating. So basically you make that eating space just as eating space. I mean, I think devoting time and being present in that particular situation is extremely important. So don't actually, let them think that this is one thing which they could actually use while, eating. So because you don't realize it, you might actually do it in the beginning, but, they actually become very problematic towards the end. And similarly, the thing goes for like table manners as well. So if they are sitting on the table and they are kind of throwing things or something, then you stop them right there. So you have to be kind of, you don't have to yell at them, but you have to be kind of very affirmative in what you're trying to do. So those are particular things. And then as we had been speaking about modeling the behavior, that is very important. So sometimes parents get time, sometimes they don't, but if you can actually try to have like at least one meal with them sitting on the table. So as I was giving examples of involving them in actually cooking activities, or involving them in doing the like setting up the table and so on. Like, okay, this is mama's plate, papa's plate, this is baby's plate, and you keep the plates here, this is a spoon, this is what we keep. And then kind of making it an environment that they don't feel that they're doing something alone, and they actually see you do it. So that is actually very important. It has often happened in I would speak of my personal experience, that some things which my daughter actually wouldn't try otherwise if I'm serving it to her and she's like sitting there alone. But if we are sitting on the table as a family, I am also eating the same thing, and she would see and she'll be like suddenly very interested in like, oh, what is mama eating, and then she would actually pick it up and eat it. So I think that is also important. And then another thing is not to force them to do anything. So force feeding, I would say, is actually absolutely a no-no. You should actually give them a chance to be self independent. You should give them a chance to actually feel the hunger, and then they would be ready to eat. And then another thing is basically developing a routine, which we also talked about, which is kind of important in forming that kind of a habit. Parents often have complaints about picky eating. So in terms of picky eating, I would say there are a lot of strategies that parents could do. There would be days when they wouldn't be eating. Their toddlers, of course, like have temper tantrums and other kind of stuff going on because they're developing so fast. So most important is, in any of those things, just be patient with them. They will actually get it in time, and they will be able to do it, and you just have to keep on doing things consistently. And the negative habits that you're trying to avoid, for example, I said like screen time is a big one. I think you should make sure that your food time, your eating time is just for eating. You're eating as a family as much as you can. You're sitting with them. You have this, array or assortment of like things which you are also eating. And then, they feel, okay, people are eating the same thing as I'm eating. So they will be interested in doing them. And certain thing, and another thing is like you could also serve them like small portion sizes, because children are actually more receptive towards like small portion sizes rather than looking at like a large pile of food which is like all mixed together. So those are kind of some things I would say are important.